1916 was right in the middle of World War One, and while some countries were involved in it, a bunch were not. And a lot of countries were still on a gold standard, but many had been forced to get off of that. Mexico was still striking gold coins and these really nice silver coins. This is a 50 centavos. Looks kind of polished. They were not involved in the war. If you believe the Zimmerman telegram, Germany was trying to get them in. It's British West Indies and Guyana. Of course, they were involved in World War One, really tangentially, just because they're still a colony of Great Britain, who was in the war. It's a 4 pence, kind of like a dime. Colombia, staying sharp, staying out of the war. Some of these are struck in Bogota, but some of them were struck in Philadelphia. And this is the same actual silver weight as a US 50-cent coin. You're going to find that it was easy to do the back and forth currency changing and comparisons because you just look at the actual silver weight. This is Uruguay, same as that Colombia. And it's got some interesting edge milling around there. These are probably the easiest way to get silver from 1916. Great Britain half crowns. Tons of these. These are bigger than half dollars as far as silver weight. They didn't strike crowns that year. India, one of the nicest coins of the year. Part of the British Empire, so they were in the war. 1916. These are very common. Bombay and Calcutta mints each struck more than 100 million of these that year. Egypt also was occupied by Great Britain in 1916, and so these were struck as part of the British Empire. 20 Piasters, that's like a crown. That's a big coin. Another half crown. Egypt, that's a 10 Piasters. Of course, this guy, as we all know, his nephew, gotten shot, and some people credit that with starting the war. So here he is for Austria without the wreath. Here he is for Hungary with the wreath. Both called a corona, but they spell it with a K in Hungary, and they got a slightly different crown. The Austro-Hungarian Empire. And those are very common. I got tons of these. Just tons and tons. Of Austrias. The Hungaries are a little more scarce. Peru, a big crown. Pretty easy to get your hands on these. Really nice coins, I think. And they got the alpaca back there. Kind of looks like an old U.S. trade dollar, doesn't it? Staying smart, staying out of the war. Plenty of these. U.S. halves. You're going to notice, look how crappy this is compared to the other ones. Because if you want U.S. 1916 dated silver coins, they cost a lot more than the stuff from the rest of the world. It's kind of a one-off. Not really a coin, it's a medal. This is Bolivia. And this was struck for some kind of celebration or birthday for a young lady. The celebration of the race. For the Senorita Rosa Prudencia. There's no other coinage from Bolivia that year. U.S. barber quarters. As you know, this is the year they transitioned into making slightly different coins. So for the quarters, you got the new dimes, the mercury dimes. They're also barber dimes. This is French Indochina. So that's Vietnam, Laos, Cambodia. 20 cents. Around that part of the world, and a lot of the southern hemisphere coins are 20 cents. They got a lot of 20-cent coins. This is real France. France proper. This is a 2 franc coin. These are real easy to get, real common, nice coins. You can get these graded MS 65, 66 for less than $100. Just like these real nice Austria coins. Look how nice that is. Shouldn't cost you more than about 15 bucks. More barber quarters. I got some barber dimes in here somewhere. Here's Australia. So this looks the same as a shilling from the UK, except on the back you got the kangaroo. And these are pretty scarce. Not too scarce, but in good condition. These get a little more expensive. Those nice 2 francs. Austria. Thailand. A baht. One of the nicer coins that year. Pretty easy to get your hands on these in good condition. More actual silver in that than a US 50 cents. Switzerland. That's a Swiss franc. It's equivalent to a French franc. More bahts. More rupees. Try to find you something new here. Canada. Remember them? 50 cents Canada. In the war, weren't they? With the Brits. Chile. These are really, really debased. The silver in these, as you see, they put it right on there so no one gets fooled. 0.45. It's a 20 cents. From Santiago. More bahts. More rupees. Here we go, Sweden. That's a Corona. Or a Kroner. With the King of Sweden on there. I think his name's Gustav, but don't quote me on that. More Gustav. Look at all these Colombias. More Chile. Something new. Straight Settlement. That's a 20-cent coin. So Straight Settlement is Singapore and Malaysia, also part of the British Empire. In real good condition, these get expensive too. It's fairly debased too. I think it's 0.6 silver. Queen Wilhelmina, Netherlands. They struck very few of their gold ducats dated 1916. So mostly you're just getting the silver coins. 1 gulden, 1916. Norway. There you see the King of Norway right on there. Very nice reverse. 2 kroners. Don't get excited. There's almost no chance that's a real 1916 Standard Liberty. I got all these because the dates are totally worn off. So it's a type 1. It's either a 16 or a 17, but what do you think? If it was a 16 and we can prove it, this is probably worth $1,000. This is just like a 3 pence. Great Britain, 3 pence. Kind of like a dime. I think it's even less than a dime. It's a Canada quarter. More Australia. The only countries that struck silver coins that I don't have in here are Tibet. Maybe that's it, just Tibet, because I do have a Panama 5 cent in there, which are pretty scarce. Oh, Bulgaria. I don't have a Bulgaria in there. So Bulgaria struck some silver coins. Those are very scarce, 1916. Got a certified one, but no raw one. So Bulgaria and Tibet I'm missing in this dish. This is Turkey, Ottoman Empire. They're on the way out, as you know, but they got these nice big crown coins. I believe this is called a 100 Kurush. Maybe it's 20 Kurush, and 100 Kurush is the gold one. He's struck in the Philly Mint. Ecuador. Dos Sucres. Struck in Philly. Tunisia. Easy to get these, and they look really nice. 2 francs from Tunisia. Afghanistan. I believe this is under the rule of Shah Habibullah, who was a secret agent in the British intelligence services. He was like a spy, and also the King of Afghanistan. It's one hell of a resume. It's possible there was 1 or 2 gold ones struck of this year. And one of those is in the Dr. Lawrence Adams collection. Here's Germany. They were striking full marks, but much easier to get the half marks. Half mark. Very nice coin. Look at that little tiny Chile. I believe that's a 5 centavos. Chile. Also debased, but it looks a lot better than that 20 did. This is part of India. I believe it's called Kurush, the princely independent state of Kurush. It's an old U.S. bar recorder. As you can see, we just got piles of some of these kinds. Oh, here, Denmark. They struck a lot of nice coins. This is a 2 Corona from Denmark, and they struck a pretty easy to get your hands on gold coin, 20 Corona this same year. More Bahts, more Egypt. What's this? Oh, British West Africa. So that's Kenya now, plus some other surrounding areas. Looks just like your average shilling, but on the back they got that nice date palm looking tree. There's other countries, I'm sure. Here, U.S. governed Philippines. So 1916, it's still a colony. Territory, protectorate, whatever you want to call it. These were struck at the San Francisco Mint. I believe they are 0.75. It's the silver content in those. There's a barber dime. Last year, the barber dimes. Who else we got in here? Oh, China. You know, 5 years ago, these were tougher to get. Now there seemed to be a glut. 20-cent China. I think it's 0.8 silver. 0.7. That's a weird one. 0.7 silver. And that's the fat man, Yuan Shi Kai. And the name Yuan, round, comes from his fat, round self. I think I got about $7.50 face. What's this? Oh, Russia. Can't forget Russia. 20, not rubles, kopecks, 20 kopecks. These were struck at a few different mints around Russia. And they look the same almost as the money from Finland, because it was occupied by Russia. Finland was a territory of the Russian Tsar at that time. Here's Japan, 50 sen. And they made some 20 yen gold coins this year too. They just did a great job on coins. These rupees. Doesn't get better than rupees. Oh, wait. No, this is a different part of India. So it's still called a rupee, but this is from Hyderabad. So much more Muslim influence. Hyderabad. Look at that. Isn't that nice? Here's a much nicer 20 kopeck than that other one. Very easy to get these. These are very low silver content. The Russian silver, it's 0.5. So not much better than Chile. They have one more year to go before their revolution. More standing. I gotta think there's more stuff in here from different countries, but I'm not easily finding it because it's so clogged with the common ones. What's this? Looks different. Oh, it's a florin. It's more British silver. Basically, this is 2 shillings, and the half crown is 2.5 shillings. And there's probably some shillings in here too. Oh, Iran. Don't want to leave them out. Look at that. So they were independent. There's their very young Shah. Something Ahmed. There's their lion. Here it is. I found it. Panama. Balboa on it. in good condition. These are pretty expensive. This is also struck in Philadelphia because we basically made Panama by ripping it off out of Colombia after instigating one of the many coups and revolutions, independence movements, whatever you want to call it, and that's so we can get the canal in. Straight settlement. I paused it for a second just to dig around, see if I could find something new. Here's Italy. There's the king, and he's the king through World War II also. Mussolini just sort of was operating under the auspices of the good king here. Nice classic ancient Roman theme there. Pause again and see if I can find something new for you before we shut this down. Here's the Finland I was talking about. That looks just the same as Russia, but it's Finland. And on the back here, it's 25 pennia. So that's what the Finns get. Now, this whole thing is more than 2 kilos, just barely, actual silver weight. So even after we take into account, I think 10% wear, not 10%, I took about 3% off for wear, takes into account the actual silver weight of all these different kinds of coins, more than 2 kilos here. I feel like I'm missing somebody, but that's what we got. 1916 was a good year.